Is isolation a bad thing? Is it a negative thing? Stay tuned and let's see. Good day everyone. Welcome to another episode of a part of the channel which is Lessons Learned. Today I'll be sharing a lesson that I've learned this week and maybe share in the comment box below what are the lessons that you've learned, maybe one or two lessons that you've learned in this week, in these past 2 weeks. I'd love to hear from you guys. But the lesson that I've learned this week is that isolation is a bad thing. And I'm thinking about this at this point in time because of COVID and because we're all self-isolating, because we're in like a mode of self-preservation. Isolation in terms of the virus is a good thing. Isolating yourself to say that I don't want to spread the virus. I don't want to cause other people harm. I also don't want to get the virus. So it's protecting ourselves, which is a good thing. But when it comes to isolation in general, I don't think isolation is a good thing at all. The reason I say this is because isolation comes from a place of fear or anxiety. So generally isolation is defined as withdrawing from your normal life, withdrawing from society, be it physically, be it just even in your mind or in your heart. And the reason why you withdraw is because of the outside circumstances. And this is I think the crux of it is that it's outside forces or an outside environment or outside set of circumstances that are causing you to withdraw, causing you to hide away, causing you to pull back and to not partake. And what often happens is that when we isolate, we tend to feel like we don't belong. We tend to feel like there's no place for us and we'll be forgotten. And what follows is loneliness, and what follows after that is then depression. And this is evident for us, and I did some research this week and I saw that Great Britain a couple of years ago actually appointed a minister for loneliness. Theresa May, the Prime Minister at the time, actually appointed a minister for loneliness because people were alone, isolated and depressed. And if that doesn't sound an alarm in our minds, just to think that a country has a minister for loneliness because people are withdrawing, because people are isolating themselves, then I don't know what will raise an alarm. So the lesson that I've learned this week is that isolation is a bad thing. And isolation doesn't help us deal with our problems, but it's actually us running away from our problems. And one would think that in a world that's never been more connected through media platforms, social media, internet, technology, we're so connected, yet because of this vast connectedness, we are not appreciating interaction with people. So the depth of our engagement is really actually shallow. It's not deep at all. And we're not finding fulfillment in the engagement because we find it everywhere, in every technology, in every media platform. We're just overloaded with information. And this, I can understand, causes us to withdraw or causes us to kind of leave and isolate ourselves outside of community. And what I want us to take away from today is that given the same set of circumstances, we're super busy, we're super overloaded with information and we just can't get to everything, and this tendency to withdraw, this tendency to feel like we don't belong and we're lonely and we get kind of depressed, this reaction. I think there's a simple way forward to this, and this is something that I continually need to remind myself, that the implication of being isolated means that I need to find a place of solitude. I don't think the world or the circumstances around me are going to change because we live in a high-paced world, a very connected world. I don't think things are going to change, but what I can do is that I can seek solitude. And what is solitude is not allowing the outside influences to cause me to withdraw or to be overloaded or overwhelmed, to cause me to go into a place of loneliness or depression, feeling like I don't belong, I'm not going to make a success of my life. Solitude is from within. It's saying that, you know what, I'm going to, for the safety and the protection of my well-being, I'm going to withdraw just to either be with myself or be with a small group of people, or I'm going to just withdraw from spending time on my phone as much as I normally do. I'm going to just maybe go camping for the weekend. I'm going to go hike up into the mountains. I'm going to take 15 minutes and just clear my mind and just kind of work through the emotions that have been causing turbulence in my mind and in my heart for the day. And it's a conscious decision from within to say, listen, I'm going to take active and intentional steps to not allowing the world to overwhelm me and push me into isolation, but rather I'm going to just withdraw from a couple of places where I'm overwhelmed, overloaded, overworked, too busy, and I see that my engagements are really shallow and I'm not getting fulfillment out of what I'm doing, and realizing, whoa, I need to take a step back. And I just need to take time to remind myself of what are my most basic needs. How am I eating? Am I eating healthily? Am I exercising enough? Am I getting to the people who are important? And kind of just refocusing on what are the most important things, reprioritizing. And I think this will help us so much in combating isolation, specifically in this time. Like, you know, you might be at home and school and work and everything is just flooding into your house. And maybe your home or your room was a safe place because you could find solitude there. But now, because of the virus and you're at home and your work has come in, and all of a sudden your work hours aren't just your work hours, because people have contact and they have access to you at all times. You're just feeling overwhelmed to say, okay, listen, I'm going to work from this time to this time. I'm going to study from this time to this one. But after that, I put away my laptop. After that, I put away my phone. I get outside to go and exercise, or, you know, I read a book that gives me fulfillment, or I go and pray, or, you know, I invest myself in something that fills me again. And that's what I want to leave with us today, is don't allow outside circumstances to pressure you and force you into a place of isolation, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're lonely and depressed, but rather take proactive, intentional steps and say, I just need to, when things get overwhelming and the circumstances get too much and there's just too much turbulence, saying, whoa, let me take a moment, let me take an hour, let me take a day in the weekend, let me, you know, take a couple of days off if that is what is necessary, and refocus on what is most important, what do I need the most, and refocus on those things and say, I'm going to take intentional steps towards that, because I think that'll help us with mental health. Reaching out to people maybe, I think that'll help us with just health in general, and also sustaining a meaningful life, because if we can't manage ourselves, how can we help others do the same? That's all for me. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have got value from this, if you've learned something from today, please type in the comments what stood out for you today. If you have any suggestions of what I should cover next, please post that in the comments below. Please like the video. If you want to subscribe to hear more tips, thoughts, principles that will help us all live meaningful lives, please click the subscribe button. And I hope you have a great day further. Until I see you next time, cheers.